What's up, OG, triple OG?
It's your
OG,
man, y'all already know what it is.
OG.
We got some Corey on deck. So, without further ado, let's get to the video.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties.
Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
You're goddamn right.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card.
No, you done fucked up, don't you?
You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men.
But I'm a man, goddammit.
And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
Damn!
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f you.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
Listen, I used to talk about gay Hollywood. And so many people would say to me, Corey think everybody gay. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I can't do nothing about the lifestyle of men who choose that. But I do want to give you a little information. All you guys who thinking of coming out of here thinking you gonna make it, your asshole must be sacrificed.
You gonna learn today.
You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, homie. If you ain't coming out of here to ride cowboy style at these parties.
The Illuminati, that shit, they approached me.
Man, these motherfuckers think it's a joke.
They approached
Craig,
me.
you ain't scared to talk about it, huh?
Yeah, they approached me, but I was lucky they had the wrong motherfucker, because when the Illuminati approached me, they was like, Sinbad. I was like, nah, that ain't me. Got the wrong nigga, I ain't Sinbad.
I have been on television shows and been so scared Because like I've said this, when I did Black Jesus, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be my last day because I saw the scene with the dress in it.
Yeah.
I am so lucky that I had a director on the show who was like, yeah, Corey, no, you ain't gotta just put this thing. He had me put on like, it's the women of the desert, what is it called, a burqa they wear?
Yeah, like a,
Yeah. So they told me I could just put on the suit the men wear out there. I forgot the name of that.
very similar. It's just like a straight.
I was
long.
like, okay, I'll put on the pants.
Oh.
Yeah.
And, you know, it didn't turn into nothing for real. But I know what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, here it is. Here it is.
Man.
The nigga in the dress episode. Homie, I'm at a stage in life where I'm past that wanting that money like that. I mean, that money like that is good. It makes you not be accountable for nothing in a lot of situations. That's the good thing about money, because you're going to get tired of going to the mall and all that shit. That shit play out after a while. But I'm saying, when you got a lot of money, you can basically buy your way out of most situations. Unless them people want you directly, they wanted Michael Jackson. That's why they came at him and put that shit on him. Michael Jackson been Michael Jackson for years. But when he said some shit in this song, all I really know is that they don't really care about us. They was like, oh, we're going to make you pay for that, Michael. And they have been after him ever since. You know what I'm saying? Probably before that, but I'm just saying. Man, all this stuff you seeing, you ain't getting nothing but bits and pieces of the truth.
And you know this, man.
These parties in Hollywood come with consequence and penetration. And if you like to party and bounce, you need to come to Hollywood. Why be a backdooria in Cleveland when you can come to LA and you might get the right tickle back there?
All right, I want to start off by saying the love of money is the root to all evil. These actors, rappers, entertainers or whatever, they gonna compromise their manhood to get to the bag. They wear dresses, kiss dudes in the mouth. It's an agenda, and I talk about this a lot as far as the agenda. I know Corey, he, joke and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, this stuff not funny, man. I make videos about men in prison getting their manhood took and taken advantage of. And somewhat it's the same way, out in the world. These actors, you got your Tevin Campbells and you have your Luther Vandross with Clyde Davis, and you got these higher uppers or whatever, just like Cat Williams mentioned in Club Shay Shay about the guy who came on him. And Terrence Howard, he said it that you can't approach a real man like that. It's gonna be some type of physical altercation behind that. And I agree with him 100%, 200%, because me, myself, I'm a man of age or whatnot, but I've never had a man come on me on some backdoorian behavior. Corey been saying it in different videos about Hollywood and how the agenda is and how these celebrities, these rappers, they compromise themselves as far as getting their manhood took. That's a badge of honor for a man to hold up in the air and be like, I'm a straight man. I don't deal with that stuff. Just like I said, I got kids I got to raise. I'm not finna teach my kids it's okay to do that or to even be around it. Y'all know how I am over here on Ghetto Talk. Y'all already know, I know I got some haters or whatnot, like to come out and talk about, that's their life and who are you to judge and this and that. I'm going to judge it because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell my kids, look, that's not right. We don't do that. That's abomination. And then you got these guys in prison taking these dudes' manhood. And it's like, you got to think about what these men are going through. Like Terrence Howard said, like these dudes need counseling. They probably need more than that. We can't tell or we don't know what would help these men to come back from that. 9 times out of 10, they not coming back from that. They switching over and going to the other side. And it's crazy. Another thing that, got me is when Terrence Howard said that his assistants put him up on Puff Daddy wanting to go up in him. And I'm like, what? These are the type of games y'all playing. See, I'd have been on the news. Y'all would have heard me on the news like, yeah, actor, ghetto talk, you know, he went upside somebody's head, or, you know what I'm saying? It's something. It's not going to be, we going to hide this, or, you know what I'm saying, we ain't going to let nobody know. No, I'm going to let the whole goddamn world know what happened and what somebody tried to do and how I handled it. Man, this stuff is getting crazy around here. It's coming out. They bringing it out, right? And it's even coming out even more. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole thing with Terrence, Howard, you know, Corey. They bringing out, they shining the light, you know what I'm saying? Cat Williams, they shining the light. They shining the light on Hollywood and what's really going on. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this stuff. It's your
What's up,
man.
OG,
Y'all already
OG?
know what it is. To the
OG,
next video,
triple,
Ghetto Talk. Up out of here. Peace.